All right, we have PG County Congressional District 4 candidate Shavonne Hedgepeth hanging out with us. This is amazing because, this is our first time we've had political guests, and they're in my county. I'm, born in D.C., but raised in PG County. Anyway, without further ado, Shavonne Hedgepeth, say what's up to the people.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Oh, most definitely. You're so lovely. It's a pleasure to have you. We ain't gonna hold these people. Let's get right into it, okay? Now, you are running for PG County Congressional District 4. Let the people know if they don't know your upbringing, where you from, so on and so forth, for those that don't know.
Yeah, so I was actually born in Florida, Hillsborough County, but I was raised in California, the Bay Area. So San Francisco, like my whole family still lives there. I went to elementary, middle, high school there, but we went on a Black college tour when I was 16 years old. It was either go to my last driver's ed training and get my license or go on a college tour. And so I went on a college tour because we don't have any HBCUs in California. And we went to Alabama, we went to New Orleans, we went to Georgia, and I toured Southern A&M. And during their homecoming, they had a funeral procession for the other school's mascot down their promenade. They had on black veils and like they really committed to the plot. And so I wound up going to Clark Atlanta University in Atlanta, and I lived there for 10 years. Worked in hospitality, interned at the museum, the Auburn Avenue Research Library, and now I've been in Maryland for a little over 10 years now. So I moved to Hyattsville, and now I live in Atlanta.
Great, great. No, that's amazing. So, by the way, you're from San Diego. I'm gonna tell you something. That's my dream because I was LA is it remind me of DC. San Diego is like the beautifulest place. I love it there. Well, you moved there from there. But I get it, the HBC. No, I get it. But oh, that sun, I want to go back. Like it's amazing. Anyway, I'll be talking about San Diego. No, that's great though. We'll tap in more with that. Hey, real quick, your social media presence. I definitely, we'll get all your handles and your socials. But how do you feel like, especially this day and age? I'm an '80s baby. Okay, I remember, the grassroots, putting up, signs and posters and, having your street team and all that. But it's a little different time now. How do you feel social media is going to help you get the votes that you need? Because we got to get you in there this year. Like, what do you think? How does that help? And what is your social media presence? How you feel about it?
Yeah, I actually, I'm a natural yapper. So I've been able to reach a lot of great people on threads. And I think um, my main goal on social media is to kind of provide context into like who I am as a person. How do I think about problems? How do I attempt to solve them? Because a lot of people don't know that the Republican Party has been building out this for 100 years, right? Like they've been building out the plans to get to this place since 1938, right? So when you think about that, it's not just about one person in office. It's about how they built out their think tanks, their fundraising infrastructure, their money. Like right now they have $119 million cash on hand, and the DNC has 14 or $18 million in debt. But that's because they built out all of these ideas. So I like to let people know that because I believe that people are much more curious about voting in elections than we've been giving them credit for. I think people care much more than we've anticipated them to. And when you let them know this is how you got here and this is why you care about this, I think it allows people to make their decisions for themselves. Like, okay, now I have to vote in June. I have to vote in November. I have to get my neighbor to vote. I have to get my teenager to vote. Like, I think the more we talk to people, the more that we engage with them so they can ask questions, then we can, see the turnout that we need. Because in Prince George's County, fewer than 1 in 4 registered voters participated in the primary election. And since Maryland is a closed primary, the primary is the election in Maryland because the general is just a formality, because the primary determines who makes it to the general in November. So when you're voting in November, you're not choosing who you're voting for. You're voting for who 69,000 people chose to vote for. So when you tell people that, they're like, well, wait a minute, when's the primaries? Like, when do I need to show up and vote? So I think with my social media, I've been able to kind of educate people on the importance of primaries, the importance of this particular election, and their role in it, and where they can be interested in participating.
Most definitely. Hey, that's great. Hold on. Shavonne, out of all of that, I thought we had a big social media presence. Excuse me, but I just got wind that your last video, one of your last videos, tell us what platform that was on, but it received 400,000 views.
Oh, my threads. Yeah. I do have about 400,000 views on threads. I like to, like I said, I like to talk. So I think I just kind of get on there and I dump out things as they come in my mind. And then I respond to, like, current events and things that are happening with my perspective, and to try and put it in front of people in a way that they will understand. Like, I posted about how Maryland was one of the largest slave breeding states in America. And at one point, 40% of the population were Black Americans. And my ancestor was sold from a plantation in Howard County in 1830s, right? He was a part of the slaves that were, excuse me, the enslaved people who were sold by the Jesuits to build Georgetown College. So it's like when you put that out there and they're like, wait, you're a Dorsey? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I'm a Dorsey too, right? And so it's like you create this community for people to like see what that is, valuable to them. And that's kind of what I talk about on threads. Yeah.
No, that's great. That's great. No, I love it. I love it. Like I said, I mean, we've got close to 100 bands on Instagram and TikTok. Like, but you like that's amazing. So anyway, no, it's great. Hey, y'all gotta. We'll get our threads, all that good stuff for the people. Hey, so real quick, same question. I have an important question as far as with the voting now. How do you feel early voting impacts, again, the candidates and the voters, okay? June 11th through the 18th, that's when PG County, they're letting us vote early. And of course, the election is June 23rd for you. But what's the impact and how do you feel the importance, like, of that as far as going into, the election?
I think early voting is the most voter friendly option that we have, because you do have the flexibility to vote at different early voting precincts. So you're not just stuck to one. And, that is the one time where we can't argue voter suppression, right? Because that's the one time where you can be a little more flexible in where you go vote and how you vote. So that way you aren't stuck standing in line on June 23rd. And it also helps the candidates understand where they're performing and where they need to be. So like you have like polling precincts or your voting precincts. So we put people and volunteers at those precincts, like vote for Shavonne within a distance, right? Within a distance. So it's like vote for Shavonne. And so when you start seeing the numbers come in, you can see I'm doing really well at this precinct, but I'm not doing well at this precinct. Let me understand why. So then you can go to the people that you've already been talking to in the community, because to be fair, you should already be in these communities before early voting, talking to the people. So you can go to the community and say, where am I falling short? And then a lot of people are like, oh, I forgot. Like it's been really busy at work. So it helps you with that meaningful voter engagement and voter turnout. So early voting helps you get as many people involved as you possibly can.
No, great, great, great. I love it. We love it over here at Live for the Field Show. I love it. All right, so look, one of your sayings or your actual mission statement, and I love it. You can tell you why I love it because I understand it, as soon as I hear it, but it's short and it's to the point, okay? Brick by brick, we're moving Prince George's County forward. That just has a great ring to it. Give me a good like paragraph or even more about what does that mean to you and what are you trying to convey to the people with that?
Yeah, well, I'd actually have to give moderate credit to Will Smith. So back in the day, I worked in a lobby bar in Atlanta called at the Lowe's Atlanta Hotel, and I used to go running in my neighborhood every night after work at like 2, 3 a.m. And so there used to be a cop who was in the corner. He'd be like, girl, what you doing out here? Like, you gotta go. So they would like let me, they would let me run through the neighborhood. And there was like a recording studio there. And the rappers would like be out there like, hey, shorty, what you got going on? But every night, after a while, they would kind of just let me be, and they would make sure I made it home every night. But at the end of every run, I would listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson's explanation of the creation of the universe and Will Smith's 7 Steps to Success. And one of the things that he said was, when you set out to build a wall, you never set out to build a wall like in one setting. You set out to lay each brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And with patience, soon you have a wall. And so when I think about what Prince George's needs, it's not just a grand vision, but it's also understanding what it takes for us to build better. And that means understanding this is where I can develop, this is where I can't develop, this is where I would have to work with someone at the county level to get this area rezoned, right? Like, I want to make sure that when we're talking about what we can actually do, it doesn't just sound nice, but it's actually something that we can deliver so we can build better. And, we can do that brick by brick.
I love it. I love it. That's exactly it. It's perfect. I think the people get it. All right. Let's change gears a smidget. All right. This is the Live from the Field show. I am a super fan, and we show you how to be a real life super fan, going to the games, dressing up in the drip, the whole 9 yards, platform, everything, right? We love Kevin Durant. Now, we heard through the grapevine you're a basketball fan, and hey, we are too. We love all sports. KD did not play but one game that Lakers series. All right. How do you feel about that? I'm giving him a pass because he's our hometown hero, and I got love for him. But I really feel like he should have bit the bullet and kind of played. But I don't know the severity of it. But anyway, I wanted to see him and LeBron. Ant-Man is there. That's my other guy. But KD's the hometown hero. Tell me how you feel about KD and just basketball. Let's tap into basketball a little bit.
Yeah, so I had a season ticket to the Wizards last year. And then I had a partial package the year before that because I love basketball. Like, I love seeing people perform at the peak of their craft, like Beyonce. Like, when you watch her perform and practice, like that, she's in there rehearsing, studying, being the best performer, best singer, best vocalist, best songwriter, best producer that she can possibly be. And so the equivalent to me is basketball. These are men who have spent their entire lives, and women, right? Respectfully, whenever you see people perform at that level, that means they knew who they were and they're living in their purpose every single day. And that's such a rarity in society. And so I personally love KD. One of my favorite lines is, I said it in like one of the first podcasts I ever did. Shout out to I Keep It Classic in Atlanta. That was like my first podcast experience. And I was like, I'm a grassroots candidate going against an incumbent who has six figures in the bank. He received about $7 million from APAC, right? So he's very well funded. So he can get in that field the way that I would never be able to at this stage as a first time candidate. But when they did the Olympics and KD, the French team was like, yeah, we have great chemistry. We play together all the time. And KD was like, you think that chemistry gonna help if you got to guard Steph? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. And it's like, when you think about, you have to be out there being the best basketball player, you know what I mean, that you could possibly be. So like, in this realm, I am, you know, Steph Curry was a 6'3" point guard with bad ankles, and I'm the grassroots candidate with no corporate backing, right? But I would still go out there and play the best that I could possibly play every time. Now, around KD and not playing in this particular series, I admittedly have not been able to watch it live the way that I previously would have been able to, because I'm always out like running around. But I think that KD's testimony to his longevity is rooted in his decisions to preserve his body in ways that other players refuse to do, right? Jason Tatum came back very soon from his ACL injury and he had to sit out their last game and they lost, right? So it's like, I admire KD's ability to say, you know what? I don't want to push myself further and I hurt myself. Or Dame, when we saw Dame in the series last year, he came back too early after his hamstring strain and pulled an ACL while still moving the ball, right? So his team could still make a shot, and he's been out for the whole year, right? So I trust the magnitude or the understanding of the magnitude that KD has over his body, that he may need to sit this out because he doesn't have to do everything for the plot. Because if he does everything for the plot, he won't be back next season.
Hey, you know what? I love that take. And hey, that's fair. That's fair. That's great. That's amazing. Now, before we wrap it up, one more thing. I am a super duper mega Washington Commander fan, okay? And, you are running for candidacy in our area. I know you from San Diego. Who's your favorite football team, NFL?
So fun fact, my grandfather actually played for the Oakland Raiders
Get out
under
of here.
John Madden. Yeah, Carlton Oates. So by like lineage, I have to be a Raiders fan. Like, my grandmother loved football, and I did not like sports growing up, but my grandmother loved sports growing up, and she had all the jackets, all the starters, the quarter zips, like all the things, right?
Okay.
Um, So I would have to say by blood, the Raiders. But by the sheer fact that the first game I ever attended was a Commanders and Dallas Cowboys game, I have to say it's the Commanders because I that was my first time ever going to a live football game. And I had a really, really great time. And it just so happened to be like the rivalry, right? Like the beast. So yeah, it would have to be the Commanders.
Most definitely. Hey, look, we really appreciate. Hey, we're at every single home game. We get to the away games too. Hey, you're more than welcome to join us. We got you, and come to my tailgate, get some food, all that good stuff. So you let us know. Hey, this is great. Hey, we're gonna wrap it up. So real quick, I want y'all to join this journey. Okay, I need y'all to join this journey with Shavonne. Okay, vote Shavonne for Congress.com. I want y'all to go there and hey, Shavonne, this was amazing, okay? I need you to actually, let's put all your handles on blast. Your social media's already rocking and rolling. Hey, but put your socials up or anything that I missed. Let the people know where to find you at, okay?
Yeah, so my most of my socials are Shavonne, the number 4 Congress. I tried to, but Shavonne Hedgepeth is a very long name. So unfortunately, I cannot do both names, but it is Shavonne, the number 4 Congress across most platforms. And I always tell people I'm just a girl who loves books, budgets, basketball, and Beyonce. And so that's what you're going to get if you follow me on social media. You're going to get a lot of Beyonce, as you can tell from the t-shirt. You're going to get a lot about basketball and budgets and books and basketball. So that's what you're going to get into if you decide to follow me.
Great. Hey, that's stellar. Hey, listen, we're definitely going to have Shavonne Hedgepeth back on the show. And hey, great. We'll see y'all later. We signing out. Let's go.